SuperDonkeyR here, and we're going to be playing StoneHearth. It's a sort of like a village management game. It's a lot of fun. It's very nicely drawn or animated, whichever way it is. It's a very nice game. It is in alpha. It's alpha 15 at the moment. So there are going to be bits where it's not quite finished. There's still things left to be done. But it is wonderful as it is at the moment. So we're going to get started. It'll read out our little adventure plan. So we can decide whether we're going to be the Ascendancy or Raya's children. Okay? Earnest and hardworking, loyal, well-rounded, citizens of the Ascendancy, chop, build, farm, confident that the known world is theirs to inhabit. People of the desert learned early to survive, they need each other, and preferably as many others they could reach. Now visitors find them generous hosts with access to goods from across all the world. We'll do the Ascendancy. I don't really know the difference, but it's going to read out our story here. A brave band of settlers from the Ascendancy, a prosperous and industrious kingdom, seek new lands and adventure. They set off to, we'll do the Temperate, to Darkmoor Forest, a location that is sure to be an inspiring place to start anew. Let's begin. Okay, so these are our people we can choose from, I think. Yeah, these are our starting citizens, and it's been a while since I've played it, so it could take a while. And we can select some starting tools or foods and such. So these are the ones we've got at the moment. We've got a mindful worker here, or you can have body, or you can have spirit. And they sort of influence what these workers will be good at, what they will be bad at if they're particularly low in certain areas. This person here wouldn't be very good at doing the intellectual things, such as crafting. Also influences diligence, curiosity and inventiveness. So they wouldn't be very good at that sort of stuff. There's nobody that's particularly well rounded. I suppose this gentleman here, Cecile, may be good for with the sort of body and stuff. You can also roll new citizens. Just press that just for the sake of it, and you just see what you come up with. You get a few well-rounded citizens there actually through that roll. So we'll stick with that. I'm not too fussed either way. And we will start off with, we'll have a farmer's home. Sure. I don't know how much that was actually. 50G. Okay, we can spend 50 gold. Weaver spindle makes thread, fabric and hangings from fibre and dyeing. We'll have a trapper's knife. We'll have that so we can get. We cannot afford that. Yep, we'll have a wooden sword to defend early on, and we'll have the weavers. Yeah, I'm not too sure what any of that really means. Right, so it's loading the world seed now, and so what we'll be able to do is select. If I remember correctly, select the area in which we'd like to start. Now if you look on the right hand side over here, you can see what the yellow marker on the left side is actually going to land us in. So here we get a bit of plants, a bit of wildlife and some minerals, but you get closer to water, you generally get more animals, more wildlife. You go into the mountains, you get more minerals. So you want to get somewhere sort of with high to medium of most things. There seems like quite a nice place. You've got plenty of trees and plants, plenty of wildlife, and plenty of minerals. We'll start there, I think. That seems like a decent place to settle. Should be good for our villagers. And here we are. Here's our little area. So we've got the controls pop on the screen. Zoom in and out. I think space to maneuver around as well. Can we? Yeah, right click to sort of rotate. I'm not sure left click does anything. Okay, so now we can select this and we can place exactly where we want our town to be, or start off at rather. So we want a little bit of space. Now we can carve into a lot of these hills and things, so we can get a bigger area. We want to be near to the minerals, so I suppose we want to sort of be up here, and we also need to be near the water so we get some wildlife. Now this looks like quite an open area. It feels like this could be the place for us to settle, and I think we're going to start off and settle right there. Eastbred Glen, yeah, we'll call it that. Not too fussed by the name. Right, so here we have the villagers that were randomly assigned to us. So we can assign certain objects. I'm going to have to relearn a lot of this. Where we've got here, we can mine tunnels, mine blocks. So I can mine this out maybe, or is it mine that out? Or is it harvest? Harvest that. Right, so hopefully somebody will harvest that. Yeah, there we go. Right, so somebody's going to come ahead. One of these workers is going to go ahead, start mining away, collecting some of these resources, and then that block's gone, so now we can build in that position. Got a list of our citizens here, and they have what jobs they're allowed to do, what they're currently doing, and here on the left are the statistics. We can also add groups, so we can say when we have warriors and fighters later on to help defend, we can group them all together for a little bit of ease. Right, so we can now place buildings, or we can designate particular areas. So what we'll do, we'll designate a storage area to start off with. So we'll just make a nice 10 by 10 should do for the time being. And we'll allow all resources to go in there, except food. We'll not allow food in there, because we'll make another one just next to it, also 10 by 10, just for the food. So we'll have that set to none, and then we will just put food in. And that way we have plenty of space for foodage. So we have the crafters workstations as well, and we have the defend flag posts. So we can rally them all so they all prepare for an invasion, or let them go, and then we can loot. Don't know what that means, but we will find out. Okay, so we can either place pre-made buildings down, which are very nicely made. So we can have a cottage for 2, tiny cottage. We'll go with a cottage for 2, and we will place it here. Can we rotate it? I think we can rotate with these keys. Okay. Right. I think we'll just place it here for now. Give a little bit of space there. There should be fine. So we can have some room for improvements and stuff. So yeah, we can now edit it if we wish. So we can select the roof, change the material. Perhaps we want to change the roof material to stone, and then we can change the look of it, so maybe more castle-like. But I think we'll stick to the standard just for the time being, until we know exactly what we're doing and what resources we've got to play with. So we'll finish editing, and then we can, once we're happy that with these building costs, which we don't have a wooden wall lantern, or beds, or wooden doors, or frames, we will build it. Yes, we will start building. And then we can close that down. So they'll put all the wood there, and they'll mark out the foundations. So that building has now got its own little location. So they're going to be hard at work doing that. Whilst they're doing that, we need to get some wood and such crafted. So we're going to zoom out a bit, and we're going to mark out a little area to harvest. So we're going to get a big area actually. So somebody will now come along and start harvesting all of that. Now, let's have a look at our villagers, our citizens, and there was one. So this person's got mind, body, and spirit. They're really good, actually, really good villager. Well, somebody with high body, I think, is the one we want for harvesting, or is it mind? Spirit, as against enemies, will easily be friend and stand strong against enemies. Influence and courage. Okay, so we want body and mind, ideally, so they could be all right. There, they got the mind though. We want to sort of keep the mind high, the people with a high mind stat ready for inventing things. So I think we'll go with Dara Recorder. We're going to change her job, and we can now select one of the jobs. So we've got carpenters who will help with the crafting. We've got farmers. We've got the footmen, and we've got the weavers. Now I actually was aiming to try and get the trapper so we could start harvesting getting some food together, but I think we're going to have to create ourselves a farmer. Now which one would be best for farmers? I would imagine we want some, do we want mind, crafting, influence, diligence, curiosity, inventiveness. We'll set Dara as a farmer, I think. Yeah, you can be ready. You're approved as a farmer. Right. So currently promoting whilst everyone else is working, building. And we've got some wood coming into the village now as well. We've still got some stone to play with. There we go. We've now got a farmer. And the reason we could do that is because I think we had a hoe to start off with, and we've also got a carpenter's saw there, I think, as well. And there's the sword and weaver's spindle. That's the one. So now we need to set out some area for farming. So we want a decent sized area. We could perhaps put it near to the storage, but I think we're going to put it a little bit away. I don't want to go too close there because I think there is a possibility for enemies to spawn in that area. So we don't want the farm too close to there. So we'll put it over here, a little bit out of the way. 11 by 11 is the biggest we can do. And what crop? We will have, for the time being, pretty bland on its own, carrots, slow growing, I think we'll start off with some carrots, just to get the ball rolling. And we'll also make another field for some corn. Yeah, we'll have some corn. And another field. And what can we have in this one? Pumpkin, big, round, fast growing, but tasty it is not. Don't have many options really. We'll get some turnips as well, some more fast growing turnips, and then we will have a fallow. That way this one will be renewed. We don't really need a farrow, to be fair, because it's now we'll change the crop. Cause the way the fallows work is if you leave the soil to renew itself, it will be more fertile and allow for better production of crops. So we will have to find something else. Now we don't have a weaver at the moment, but we can get one. So I think it might be an idea to start getting some silkweed. Just get some silkweed ready to go, and that'll help fill up these little storage areas. So now we could put a food storage area a little bit closer here, because I'm not sure if we can actually prioritize. Can we prioritize these? No. Doesn't seem that there's a way to prioritize them, because it would be nice if you have a sort of storage here which is used as the first port of call for this guy, and then somebody else could come along and perhaps move it along. That'd be a nice little thing, but not how this is going to work. That's fine. Right, so what else do we need job wise? Let's have a look. So we've got our farmer over here. His symbol's now changed. Is it a he? It's a she. I do apologise. And then we need a carpenter of some description to start the crafting. So we want somebody with high mind. They don't necessarily have to have high in the other two. So there we go. That'll do for me. So we'll change the job and we will set to a carpenter. That'll be approved. So Lily Woolden is now going to become our resident carpenter. And we will also need a weaver as well. So we might struggle with the weaver to get the stats that we want. I suppose this is a bit too well rounded really. That's probably good for a trapper. That's good for yeah. We'll go with Rowan, yes, and he can be our resident weaver. You can be approved. And so no, we wish to resume. And now we can start building some of these crafting posts. Now the way the crafting posts work, usually most games you have a big building or something. You don't need that for this. You need to. Okay, we can select stuff, but we need to actually get our little. We get a little block, or at least we used to have a little block that you place down, and that would be the crafting area. But I don't exactly know where that is. What's this? Place an item. Do we have items to place? No, we do not. Right, I suppose we just go into the crafting menu. Maybe that's later on. And I believe for this building, what is it that's required? Can we access this at all? Design the building. No, we need. I want to check out what are required. Here we go. Right. So we need a bit more wood. We need one wall lantern, 2 mean beds, 1 door, and 2 window frames. I'm definitely going to forget that, but we will see which ones we can remember. So we want 2 mean beds. So we want 2 of them. Requires a carpenter's workbench. We do not have a carpenter's workbench. Ah, okay. I'm with it now. I'm with it now. So we can craft these workbenches. So we need to craft one of you to start with, and then we need to craft. So that way we'll also, once we've got the carpenter sorted, be able to craft more holes for more farmers, more swords, etc. We can also craft some crates and log piles and things in order to store the wood. But we will then need some mean beds. So cue the order anyway. We need 2 of these if I remember correctly. We need a door. 1 of them. There was some window frames, I think. I can't remember what type of window frame. Wooden window frame. Yeah, that'll do. We'll put an order for 2 of these in because I can't remember exactly how many were required. And we need a wall lantern. And why is that grayed out? I'm not exactly sure because it only requires wood. So I think we needed 2 of them. So that's all queued up, and we've got our carpenter's workbench already crafted for us. So we can now place this, and this will be the carpenter's sort of place to come and do his crafting, his craft work, his carpentry. So we need a nice place to do it. There's our little fire for the centre of the village. But we don't want this to be in the centre. We'll put it over here. So the carpenter will now come along, grab that and place it down, and then he'll be able to start working. We've also got the weaver now as well. We should be able to start crafting some clothing, I believe. So do we need a loom, a spinning wheel, or a weaver workbench? So we need some winter worker outfits. They'll be helpful later on for the purposes of preventing our guys from getting a little bit too chilly in the winter. What do we need for it? It requires a weaver workbench. So we'll craft one of you up, which needs a bundle of fibre, which again I think comes from the silkweed. So add threads till cloth results. Okay, so we'll probably need a little bit of everything, unfortunately. Oh, it's this spool of thread. We need some fibre for it. We need some thread. Okay. So everything sort of works on from the previous material, I guess. Right. Some sunlight coming up now. We don't have enough beds yet for everybody. We don't even have enough beds for 2 people. So we can X-ray this so we can see right the way through the earth. Not what I intended. Wanted it to go. Is there a flat? Nope. Okay. So we want slice maybe? Ah. There we go. Building vision. We can see through the buildings. That's the one we want. So we can see inside, see what the house looks like on the inside. They're really clever, these little citizens. They, I was going to say villagers, but I don't think that's the right way to do it. What's this here? So we've got some wild silkweed here as well. We can actually harvest that up, or gather it up. Get that marked out to gather all these little bits up. And that'll help the weaver get started. It's a little bit far out, but we will manage. Can we gather the... no. Right, so he's now placed his little carpenter's workbench. Oh, got a daily update. So in order for the population to go up, every day we get a little report like this. Now we don't have enough food to accept more people, and we don't have enough wealth to accept more people. The morale is good, but the others not so much. And each time that's met, each time the requirements are met, we'll get a new villager, a new citizen to come join us. So a lot of wood being produced there, which is good. What other things can we craft? Because we also want to get some tools ready. Get another farmer's hole maybe? No, it's not required. Right. So Lily has upgraded the her carpentry skill. So this is Lily down here. And I'm not exactly sure how to check her specific stats, but we can go through it this way. More information, please. And her job abilities. She's now level 1 in the carpenter, which will allow her to make more items, I think. Not sure if this changes, but yeah. She's got her carpenter overalls on and her carpenter saw, which can actually be used for a weapon, which is interesting. We also need to get a defender now for somebody, so that's not the one we want this one. So it's somebody good mind, good body, sorry, and good spirit. Where was the person with good... I think we're gonna have... I'm sure there was somebody else who was better off, but I think this is gonna have to do. But we're losing out on the mind, and at the moment, I think the mind is probably the best bit. Okay, Asher, you're going to change job, and you're going to be our resident footman. We'll call you a knight, though. Yeah, in the future, this hasn't been created yet, or has it? Oh, maybe it has. It must not be finished yet because of the question marks. I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of these didn't exist when I first played this. The Potter definitely didn't exist. Mason may have done. I'm not sure. It's a while ago. But yeah, well, he will approve the footman, so he will now get promoted. And I think we can actually use him to attack the local wildlife in order to. We may need more storage space here. Yeah, I think we can get him to attack the local wildlife. No, we cannot. Right, what is this? Defend the location, attack a target. Let's see what this does. Nope, we cannot attack the rabbit. We definitely need a trapper for that. So we've got a lot of wood coming in now. Not a lot of food just yet. Small and bitter. Carrots. Slow more high stakes gambling. Silkweed. Got plenty of silkweed going to be coming in. And some turnips. The turnip is unrealised. Very nice. I think these are medicinal herb plants. Yeah, harvest for healing herbs will be required later on. Is this house all built up? Looking good. We've got the little wall lamp on the top there. Must have only needed the one. Very nice indeed. Good work, fellas and ladies. Not happy with the food situation though, it looks like. So we're going to need another building. We're going to have another cottage for two, I think. We could go for a shared sleeping quarters, but it's going to be a little bit cramped, I think. So we're going to try and to put this with this. Right, so we're going to put that there. Should be fine. Not too worried about the gap between them as long as there's some form of gap. But nobody seems to be very happy. I think the other one was that setting, wasn't it? I'm not sure. We'll change it to that one. And that's fine. And we will finish and we will build. So we need 2 more beds, 1 more door, and 2 more frames. Yes, start building. So go to the crafters menu, crafters, and we need 2 more of these, I think it was. 1 more of these, and 2 more beds. I'll craft 4 more beds. We'll maintain this way 2. And that way, if we're maintaining 2 in the inventory, when we use those ones, we'll have another 2 ready to go. And we will also do the same here. Oh no, we've already crafted, we've already started it, so we'll leave that as it is. So yeah, we'll maintain 1 in the inventory, just so we don't get too greedy and have beds taking up too much storage. So yeah, well, the other things we can craft some storage stuff now. Up to 32 items, that could be a good idea. So we'll craft a few of them. We'll get 5, I think. Get them crafted. Oh, Lily is upgraded again. So this time what she's gained is collaborative insight. The carpenter is now skillful enough to use materials created by other crafters, and also increased her health. Very nice. I also show that on the character sheet. The job abilities, so it shows that as the job abilities. It doesn't seem to put it the maximum health increase anywhere specific, but you can see her stats here and her health is there. Very well done, Lily. Working hard on your crafting. Do we have some food? Is that some carrots that have grown up? Not sure. Looks like it is. Very well done. Dara Kuroda. And now she sat down to enjoy the meal. Very nice. We will have to craft a dining hall at some point, which I think we will place here with the back facing that way. Can we move this? Move the item. We're going to put that here for the time being, because I'm going to need to get there soon. We'll also move the camp standard here as well. So somebody's going to come along, grab them, move them over. Right. Looks like it. The endings go down well. Come on everybody, help defend. Helping people. He needs help.